Hello everybody, my name is Nathan. Welcome back to Let's Play HOI4 Kaiserreich as the United States. Let us continue on from where we last left off. So, the bill failed to pass. We're going to start slowly declaring martial law in the United States, and I think that should be a-okay. You know, if people love one thing, it is martial law. So we're still missing 8,000 rifles. We need 27 artillery pieces. We're slowly building up, but it is going to take a long time. Because right now we need, how many factories are needed for? 212. 90% consumer good factories, which is dreadful. That's so bad. So let's go for dispersed industry here. We're already getting this technology bill here. Let's get for the reinforcement rate as well. I think that should be fine. So the Civil War should begin like early 1937, I believe. Just sometime around then, because it only takes place after the election. Obviously, a special election in New Jersey following Senator Harry Moore's resignation in order to run for governor. Special election has been called in New Jersey. Well, let's go for yes. We want them to lose a little bit of power. How the Democrats win that one? The SPA were at fault. The police were at fault. May Day, International Workers' Day. This is a holiday that the Socialist Party celebrates with numerous praise and speeches and has since its foundation. Generally, things are peaceful, though there have been confrontations with the police. However, this time things may be more violent than normal. Clash between the Socialists and the local police, backed up by the AFP, have occurred throughout the country. The question is, who's at fault? The Socialists declare that things were peaceful until the police and the AFP goons arrived on the scene. The AFP are saying that the Socialists began by assaulting ununionized workers and have blurry photos of claiming our guns at the SPA. So if we blame the Socialist, the Social Party actually gains political power. The National Populace gets a little bit. I mean, I'm guessing the SPA being at fault means that, like, I don't know. I mean, they do gain power, which I'm surprised by. The police are at fault. That's just more stability. You know what? We'll say that they're at fault just so they gain a little bit of political power, just assuming that that is not. Maybe you get more political power because we're unfairly blaming them. I'm really not too sure. Panama Research, Costa Rica. Wait, what's going on? The U.S. threaten us. Okay, we can actually intervene in, political power goes up 50 plus 3% stability. Nomination of Senator Olson as a presidential candidate. Political minded, has discussion. Great intention, the likely vice president. Okay, that's fine. The Panamanians are a small-scale military conflict in the coastal region, Costa Rica. Why would I do that? We're going to intervene. Panama. You have 2 divisions. I only have 5, so I'm really like not that powerful, all things considered. So if you said no to me, I don't think there's really much I could theoretically do. Okay, so they back down. 10 political power, definitely saving us, I would say. So the time has come to dust off the American military's color-coded war plans. This one is meant to dealing with domestic disturbances and insurgencies. It cannot come a moment too soon as violence is escalating in areas where the AFP and the SPA have contended with local authorities for dominance. Minnesota and North Carolina are 2 states where the violence is at its height, and at the moment we can only focus on our efforts in one place. So we can either, let's go for focus on the AFP for right now, because of course I want both sides to rise up. I don't want to like kick one of them down, because that's really going to make my life harder, I believe. I think fighting a 4-way civil war generally is going to be better than fighting like a 2-way civil war. Mosley's been elected chairman of TUC. Good work there, guys. You really are. You're pulling things together. The road to, wait, is France already going to declare war? They're not going to do that, right? Like, that's... Okay, no, it's just, Batman, Alsace-Lorraine. Okay. Take down Germany, unite Italy, free the peoples of Austria-Hungary. That is a-okay. Don't worry about that too much. At least not for right now. Like, I thought they were going to declare war in 1936. Like, France, you cannot win that battle. 1936 is way too early. Demand repayments of war debts. The death of Big Bill Haywood. I already missed some. 3% syndicalism. That's fine. Construction 1 has finished. Can I go for Construction 2? No, Construction 2 is 1937. We should have like a ton of oil right now. I don't know. Getting fuel storage might be a good idea. Well, let's actually get artillery being a little bit better. I think that's probably an okay place to start off. coup d'etat in Siam. You know, that always happens, so it's not really that big of a deal. I'm guessing, yeah, that guy's in charge. Full control over Argentina, which I'm pretty sure that's the national populist guy. A lot of things have been happening in basically every single game that are very, very similar. So I don't know what's going on with, Russia's actually not doing anything yet. The Great Heat Wave of 1936. Just not our year. Yeah, no, it's basically just been shit. Since day one. Southern Democrats to complain, although the coalition is showing signs of success, there are some dissonance from the various factions. The loudest voice being those of the Southern Democrats, many of whom are more conservative and are facing stiff competition for the American First Party candidates. The coalition has already been largely dominated by Northern Democrats and Republicans, with progressives being the third wing of the coalition. We could try and force a compromise by promising to appoint Southern Democrats to the cabinet and other positions of power if we win. Of course, we could also ignore their protest and focus on winning the election instead. We'll probably appoint them to the cabinet. Sure, why not? We can put in a Southern Dem. We're slowly building. How big is our Air Force? I'm going to assume it's like not very large at all. No, actually, 1.55 thousand planes? That's not too bad. You know, that's actually pretty okay, all things considered. I mean, I don't think any of them have been, The National Guard has been deployed for over 6 months now, fighting to maintain security in a number of American cities, but there's a growing fear that the commanders within the Guard are not entirely loyal to the Republic. The many harbor symphonies for the AFP and the SPA. More focus needs to be put in strengthening the units we know are loyal. We also need to decide where to refocus our deployment for the time being. Well, let's go back to Tennessee. Let's go to Minnesota. Because again, I'm trying to at least somewhat balance this out. And then we'll go for MacArthur's plan. 42 days. I'm sure MacArthur has a great plan that is not going to backfire in the slightest. More SPA members announce congressional bids. That's fine. So we lost some points there, but we just gained them back. So it should be okay. I'm assuming how much political power they have determines how many people will join their side during the Civil War. And which states will join. Because I know some states can go to either, you know, USA or go to the CSA and all that. So the Red Summer. Summer heat has turned to violence and blood as cities starting with Charleston, South Carolina, throughout the country. And yeah, it's just a lot of... It's just a bad time. Just a bad time. Political... Everything's going down. Nobody is happy in the United States right now. We got another 32 days for MacArthur's plan to be ready to go. Military intelligence, logistics. Like, what's actually in these armies? So, side with Democrats, side with the Republicans, or force compromise. Democrats, you know, we'll just force a compromise. I really don't care. They're not going to win the election, as far as I know, so I'm not too worried about that. So you're... No, okay, we got to remove you. And I think 2 of you become artillery for the 20 width stack. Yeah, so save that. We're going to need significantly more artillery. We're going to need, about 600. That's actually not too bad, all things considered. So I'm going to edit you. I can't edit those symbols, so never mind. I need to actually install the mod that lets me change the NATO counters, because the NATO counters are significantly better than these like trash symbols that are there. So let's go for... Yeah, sure. Skirmisher, why not? Can I do anything to MacArthur? He can have some organization first. And be very aggressive. Never mind, I can't do that. Not yet, at least. These have like a ton of factories. So everything's going, you know, okay. It could be going significantly worse. Paramilitary militias are forming. Excellent. Just destroy just throw the country into turmoil. What's the worst that can happen? Gone with the Wind. Publisher novel, Gone with the Wind. Authoritarian Democrats go up by 1%. Sure, why not? Poland has elected a king. What else? Okay, so you just elected this dude. The next war's army. Do we know what these guys are doing yet? We'll have John F. McKay win in Washington. The General MacArthur's plan. Vital importance. We absolutely need that Texan oil. Probably, so we'll do that. Also, his nomination that let us pray that this helps us. Plus 3% stability. So everything basically is going bad. The National Unity Party, Socialist Party. So what can we do? Demand reparations from the Canadians. There's something over here as well. Navy. No, let's just demand stuff from Canada. Because, you know, we might as well take it. It's ours for the taking. It's there. We got 1 tank, a handful of divisions. How many troops does Canada have? 13 to 25 divisions. Mexico has significantly less than that. So I'm kind of like, how are we going to really go about the war? That's a really good question. Because, you know, we can attack Canada, like, right away. But, you know, fighting the United States, the American Union State, and Canada at the same time probably isn't in our best interest. Of course, we'd also be fighting the New England as well. So let's go for some military doctrine. Let us go for Grand Battle Plan. I mean, we are a pretty, you know, a large navy with a ton of manpower. Violence reaches the political theater. You know, we have like 2 months until the election. Just get us to election day. Have everything just turn out worse for the country. And I think that should be okay. What's the worst that can happen? Fortress America enter the fray. Most of these things we're not even going to do, so there's really no point actually looking at them. Mussolini has won in Italy. Huey Long gave a speech. So apparently totalism is the name of the game for the International. We'll see if the French also go totalist. Like, that's entirely possible. I don't even remember who the French totalist leader is. Oh, the great... You know what? 5% stability. We need that stability, so we will absolutely take it. No questions asked. What if Canada doesn't pay us back our loans? I mean, I think that's possible. Reconciliation with Canada. Pass the Tariff Act. So I'm guessing that's if they say no. Or we can do that anyways whatsoever. Well, let's tariff the Canadians. I don't want the United States to have friendly relations with them. Disunity within the coalition. Let us side with, you know, forcing compromise makes everybody upset and unhappy, so the more people I can make miserable so far, I think is the best. Belgium declares their independence. Good for you. They don't like us anymore. So let's pass some tariffs. Absolutely what the United States needs right now. So Belgium declares their independence. They've, war support political power. The Canadian government has responded to demand, saying that the flat refusal. That they say was never meant to be repaid until the home islands were retaken, as most was incurred by the United Kingdom, a government which is now in exile. Even so, the refusal has done its job and fired up the isolationist elements of the United American government. Okay. That's fine. Nothing to worry about right now, at least. I mean, they don't like us, which is kind of understandable. Same as similar ideology, we're trade partners. But we're about to tariff them, which again is also probably going to make them a little bit upset overall, I would say. Belgium's going right. So they declare their independence and they just immediately go back with Germany. So I don't even know what the point really there is. What do you actually do? You know, let's try to improve the Navy this game, because again, I basically have never done it. Let's get the better tanks researched. Let us go with, well, let's get the signal companies researched as well. Put those into our armies. Okay, so what's Canada doing? Apparently they're moving troops around. I don't know if that really helps us out too much. And we're soon gonna have our first unit deployed, which I'm guessing is good. The Indian Citizen Act. But veto the bill, there's no time for populism, or pass the act, hopefully they will gain us some sympathy. You know what? You know that's a good thing to do. We'll make them a little bit happy. It's going to make everybody else in the country happy, and it's going to, you know, ruin our stability even more so, but so be it. You know, sacrifices have to be made. And we also, of course, we need to get MacArthur in charge here, because I want the PSA to revolt as well. The more angry people, the better. I think world tension is slowly... I think it's going down. I can't really tell. Stability's still really, really bad. Not a good time there. Okay, so we're gonna have a few more days so we can pass this act. I guess it's gonna make Canada very upset. Apparently, social liberalism is going to go up, though. I don't really know why. Order prevails, constitutional crisis, and I guess after that we just focus on the Navy, because what else? I think that's literally the only thing we can do now. It's just, hey, let's make the Navy a little bit better. Because the Navy is fun. Who doesn't love a big boat? These guys actually only have strength. Oh yeah, because they're missing the artillery, right. That actually makes a lot of sense. So if we're going to also need the artillery here. I don't even know why are these shrunk down. Make slightly more artillery, please. Thank you. We're only making 4 artillery a month, so I'm guessing we're going to need a, yeah, like 3 years of time to do that. It's not very great right now. Oh yeah, and this will never finish. This will never, ever, ever finish. Oh, it's election day. The 1936 presidential election results have finally come, with my ideologically contested presidential election in the United States has ever witnessed. None of the 3 major parties have secured enough votes for in the Electoral College to outright win the presidency, and as a result, the House of Representatives once again has to vote for the winner of the election. This is probably not the end of our problems for the time being. Victory goes to Jack Reed and the Socialist Party. Which, of course, is going to make a lot of people upset. Negative 30 sensibility. But, I mean, we're pretty popular. We're more popular than the last party, so what can you do? President Reed. Oh, yeah, this actually will give us new options as well, I believe. Where is Reed in here? He's somewhere. I don't know if it's popped up yet or not. Because I know there's things in that you can do as... Oh, no, there it is. Okay. So the president has not been inaugurated quite yet. The AFP contests the election results. The American First Party leadership has contested the results of the election. They claim Reed allies have rigged the election. Please, Italy. Your elections do not matter in the slightest, so go away. They claim that Reed and his allies have rigged the election and demand a recount. Huey Long has given a mocking speech accepting the presidency for his followers. Some murmurs from inside the AFP have reported that the Democrats have left the AFP, have expressed regret for losing the historic election. Negative 35% stability. Fantastic. The United States is basically just going to explode into a giant fireball. So, you become elected. Hoover criticizes the president. He doesn't matter anymore. Because Hoover, I mean, Jack Reed shouldn't be in here. It should still be Hoover, technically until January, but still. That is fine. So Jack Reed, I think it's what, January, like, it's like the early weeks of January, I believe, is when we get crushed the longest. Then we're going to enact sweeping reforms, I think. But it's sometime in January when the president is inaugurated. Okay, so we've done the fire control systems. I'm assuming that's good. So what can we do? 1936, let's get better fighters. Probably would be worthwhile, I would say. The status of the United States Navy. I do not care that much about the boats. Yeah, let's go for the Great Fleet. I don't think we need to protect trade. I think we need to eventually focus on outside the United States and just annexing everybody else. But I think it's going to be a good time to end this episode. Thanks very much for watching. My name is Anthem. If you've enjoyed, remember, thumbs up. Not doing, show you thumbs down. Want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.